right, we're here in the beautiful Sunshine State, and it's super bright. I'm in a shade spot right now, but ultimately today we're talking about traction with your Power Wheels. These plastic tires only last but so long, and we've had these Power Wheels, man, I'll tell you, probably about 7 years at this point, and we're just keeping them running. So today we're going to talk about how we can add traction with just under $20, probably even less if you already have some of the supplies. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it, and hopefully my camera works a little better than it has been in the past. All right, so here's some of the stuff you're going to need. These strips that I cut out, they're shorter than what we actually need for the Power Wheels tires, but this is the remnants. So I forgot to take a video prior to chopping that mat up, but essentially you guys have seen this before. You can go to Harbor Freight, and basically this is like a fatigue mat or a non-fatigue mat for your toolbox. It's basically about a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch thick, depending on where you buy it from, and it's got this diamond mat pattern, diamond plate pattern on the back side, which serves almost like a tread. So let's see what else we need here. Rubbing alcohol, so I just use 70%. No reason to go any higher than that, really. We're dealing with contact cement and plastic, so this should adhere fairly good. This is the contact cement that I chose to use, Weldwood contact cement. It served me well with so many other projects, and so far it's doing its job here as well. Flathead to just pop that open, unless you got the fancy tool, and a box cutter, right? So this is basically what we're doing here. I flipped these guys on their sides or upside down, and essentially what I did is I ran a strip of contact cement all the way around. And yeah, you'll see that these aren't perfectly straight, but they don't need to be. That's the beauty of this project. It took me all about 15 minutes, and it'll probably take me about a third of that time just to explain it, right? So I just ran a bead wide enough to make contact with this, and did that basically all around every tire. Right? I let it dry. While that was drying, I flipped these strips upside down, lay down some cardboard so that you don't make a huge mess like I have in the past. And you're also going to need a roller and some sort of like disposable trays or whatever. And I poured that in the tray, rolled it on the roller. I also grabbed a little paintbrush from my kid's craft set, just in case to touch up any little corners, and you will need that, and I'll show you about that in a second. So I rolled that onto the wheels, again, let it dry, flipped these upside down, rolled them, let them dry, which was about 5 minutes or so in this heat. And once that they were both dry, I just started applying. I ran them over, and in the areas where we had overlap, I basically just took the box cutter. I overlapped it about 1 inch or 2. I took the box cutter, sliced it down the middle so it would be a perfect match, and then I used the paintbrush to dab in the little areas where I had just pulled the excess from. And then I married it up. So you'll see that these seams are perfect all the way around, right? And you can see the marks that I left on the plastic tires. I was in a rush, man. It's hot out here. So, and again, see, it's not perfect. I did it well enough, right? But you see the marks that I left on the tire. If you're more careful than I am, that should look a lot better on your vehicle. I've done that to all 3 vehicles so far. So here's the Jeep. Got some contact patches, and they're all done. And as you can see, my son's having a blast. Hasn't gotten stuck once since we've been on this 3-minute video, and he's been riding it around about 15 minutes prior to that. So I think we're good. So, Micah, are you happy? Are you happy with the car? Is it getting stuck anymore? All right, thumbs up. He's just at that height where he just barely reaches the gas pedal, so it does that little hop, skip, and jump. But yeah, so again, from the Sunshine State, hopefully you can get some traction wherever you are, and post down below the luck that you've had. Maybe you've tried something different. You can go as wide or thick as you like on those strips. I chose to go thin, right? I didn't know that this was gonna work, and it did, right? And I chose to run it down the center because the truth is that's where most of the weight is most of the time. And the reason why I also stripped the front tires is for traction purposes. So what I noticed on the Jeep, because that was the first one that I did, is we had a lot of power moving forward, but not a lot of turning. capabilities. So by adding the strips in the front, it just rounded everything out. So hopefully this helps you out, and if it does, you know, give it a like and subscribe. I've been really away from the YouTube channel for a long time, but I don't know, maybe this type of stuff will start helping people again. The power wheels are starting to come into maintenance. Burnt out one of the motors on the Jeep, so maybe later on today even I'll go ahead and replace those and video that for you guys. All right, well, have a good one.